What's going on, everybody? I wanted to do a second video on the Keurig K-Slim and show you after the unboxing. We've got it set up right here, kind of show you the next steps. Is the coffee hot enough? And using a travel mug and the size of the travel mug that you can use with your K-Slim. I'm telling you, what is that? That's got to be less than 5 inches of width. So from a counter space perspective, I mean, you can see right here just how killer that is. You can put stuff, around it. You don't have to worry about it. I wouldn't put things that you would worry about necessarily getting hot. So maybe, putting a cookbook next to it, probably not a good idea. But I'm going to move that out. You can just see, I love the slim design. The other thing that you have to do is just, rinse this out. You don't have to get nuts with cleaning stuff, but you just want to keep this thing clean. We like to use filtered water for the best possible tasting cup of coffee. But the other thing you need to make sure is you want to do a kind of a cleansing brew right when you start. And so I'll show you that really quickly. You can see when you top this thing up, it's flat. Like now a number of them like tilt up. This is flat. This is very clean, very secure. Basically, you see this light up, and then you choose 8, 10 or 12 ounces depending on what you want, and then you hit this button, which is the brew button. If you just want to do the hot water, there's that, but the descale is a different thing. That's part of like the cleaning process. You don't have to worry about that. We're not going to cover that in that video, but you want to start and you want to do a cleansing brew right when you get this thing open. The way to do it, and I'll do this with, let's just do it with a glass so you can kind of see. I'm kind of curious as to what kind of stuff will come out of it if we do cleanse it. So I basically plugged it in back here, and let me just close it, and obviously it automatically powers on. There's no reaching back for a big switch or anything. It automatically powers on, and it's basically asking you what you want to do here. And the first thing you want to do is do an 8 ounce, and then this lights up and this says, hey, let's go, let's brew. And so now we're brewing, and you can kind of see how long this is going to take. I just can't believe how like I have had Keurigs that are like 4 times this wide, and you can see right away we're just running, we haven't put a pod in there yet, we're just running the initial sort of cleansing brew of 8 ounces just to get whatever might be in there from shipping or whatever, just to get that clean. It's always important just right off the top. You don't have to, never immerse this thing in water when you're cleaning it. The thing that's most important is to make sure that you're using good filtered water, and you keep this clean, especially at the onset, and never put that in the dishwasher. You want to do that by hand. You don't have to do it so often, and just kind of keep this thing wiped down, especially if you're using a lot of coffee, or I should say drinking a lot of coffee and using this to make it. You're going to want to wipe this down every so often. Never open this thing up while it's in the process of brewing. You want to keep yourself safe. You don't want to get burned, so just kind of wait, and you'll know when this thing is done. Wow, there wasn't really anything. Okay, it's done. Well, if you thought maybe the coffee wasn't hot enough, I can tell you right now, just by judging by this initial brew, that's pretty hot. Not too hot, but that's pretty hot. So we're gonna dump this out in the sink, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to brew a cup of coffee. I'm going to use a travel mug. And so the way you want to do this with a travel mug, so you need to get on the road. You want a cup of coffee. You want it really quick. You don't want to brew a whole thing. You want to keep it clean. This is the way to do it. The way to do it is, you notice that there's this here at the bottom. This thing lifts up, and really what that is this is kind of a drip tray. So this is another thing you might want to every so often just take a look, and if it's seems it's getting kind of funky in here, pull this out and rinse this out and clean this out, because you're going to get a lot of extra drips and maybe some grounds or whatever is going to get in here. But if you do take these 2 pieces off and you have this actually is over 7 inches. So it says that it accommodates 7 inches and below travel mugs, but it actually is going to fit underneath there. So I'm going to pop this open. I mean, we do strawberry lemonade, we do tea. And strawberry lemonade obviously would be something that is cold, but you can, brew something and, use ice. So I'm going to say I want 10 ounces of coffee in this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit 10 ounces. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to hit the brew button. See, I always am forgetting that. I selected 10 ounce, and then once you select 10 ounce, but this nice little flashing Keurig light said, hey, hit me if you want me to brew. And so you might be able to hear it. Got some fresh coffee going in here. Oh, that's going to be delicious. That is going to be delicious, and it's right on time. Seriously, I'm digging the white, but I like the black too. I guess the white really works with this kitchen maybe a little bit more, but I do have other Keurigs that are different colors. You can have all kinds of different colors of Keurigs, and you can't beat it. To be able to do something like this, brew it directly into a tempered travel mug like this and take it with you wherever you're going is definitely an advantage. I probably should have hit 8 ounce. Maybe the video would be less. But I did want to have a taste because I think a number of people have asked questions about whether or not the coffee was hot enough. And so, I always say when it comes to coffee makers, you'd rather have it be a little too hot and then you can cool it off maybe with some ice or let it sit for a little bit. But if it's not hot enough, there's not a lot you can do after it's brewed. So I can hear that it's done. And you'll hear that little noise that's just kind of, every Keurig has done, it's kind of like a thing. And now we can hear that it's done, and I'm pulling out, and there, of course, is our delicious coffee. Very steamy. It looks like it is plenty hot enough, so I'm going to turn this around. Yeah. And I'm going to have a sip of this coffee, and we're going to see if it is hot enough. Got to be careful here. Whew. It's hot enough. I don't think I burned my tongue necessarily, but there's no doubt about it. It's hot enough. Personally, I like to have cooler coffee than this, so I'm fine with that. Knowing that, I'm either going to put like a cold brew base in it, or I'm going to put, maybe an ice cube or two in it, and we'll be off to the races. So I hope this helps you on your purchase of the Keurig K-Slim, and enjoy.